people are paid out their pensions as they move into retirement. It's a global study that's been done around the world, but on the African continent in particular, there are problems. Women are retiring with substantially less income than men. And they're not talking about an absolute number here, because you may well point to salary differentials. They're talking to a percentage of their salaries. So it is comparing like with like. South African men on average are retiring with an average replacement ratio of 35%. Women retirees' pensions somewhere between 9 and 26% less on average. So what's going on? To try and get perspective on this, we're joined by Viresh Maharaj. He's the executive responsible for strategy and customer experience at Alexander Forbes. A very good afternoon to you, and thanks for your time. What is this telling us? Is it to do with the amount of time that women take out of the work cycle due to, for example, family responsibilities, or is there more to it than that?
Well, good afternoon, John, and to your listeners. It certainly covers the factors that you've mentioned, but we weren't able to isolate any single contributing factor because we believe that depending on an individual's context, there are a number of contributors that have resulted in this overarching dynamic. The interesting part of the survey that came out, and this was based on a sample set of close to 1 million empirical data points, sourced from Alexander Forbes' own administration data, found that approximately 30% of the women in our sample were single mothers.
Right.
And this contributes to the dynamic in the sense that they've got to take care of their household expenses, typically expenses that extend beyond their own nuclear families, with retirement funding and making provision for their own income security once they've stopped working very much on the back burner for the majority of their careers.
So fundamentally, they're putting away less, and the reason they're putting away less is that they're having to cover so much more.
Yes, and as you've touched on, the burden of childcare typically is placed on the mother, which means that in many situations, ladies tend to take off from work, not just through maternity leave, but often career breaks, which means that they aren't contributing to a retirement fund during that period. It is also an additional opportunity to withdraw their savings at that point in time, which takes away the opportunity to earn compound interest, which absolutely contributes to a better retirement outcome once they reach retirement age.
News,
Experts,
analysis,
where things stand
what you need to know. Drive home with John Perlman
on 702.